We are going to have Infernal Shrines as our first battleground here with bans on Braxis and Sky Temple. And we'll see if that tank Zul makes a reappearance on this map. I don't think so today.
Not on this map. I've had decent amount of games with O-Prime, the Greencasters, and a few of the players in HGC as well. Has pros and cons, but a lot more cons.
Yeah.
So, and this is not a... And it goes on few maps, Alterac, Cursed. I think few of the maps are that works really well with that, but Atars of Doom. I think some on this map in Infernal Shrines, not as well for sure.
Yeah. Ob's gonna have to press Control M, or else we're gonna have a bad time. There's the Tyrande ban coming through.
And Feliz, they just ban Maiev all the time.
Oh,
because Gondar does like to play that Maiev, it may actually be a thing.
There we go.
Yes.
There was an observer bug. That's why you could see the chat there as well. So what do you think here? I mean, is this the Maiev removal, and then we go down the straight
having the history
path?
of them banning Maiev all the time. When they chose it, they lost against Supernova, but they're willing to give it up for Gondar.
So that's a very scary thing. But Mephisto on this map, insta-lock first pick. Mephisto's so powerful here because his ring, his Nova, will allow him to steal so many of the defender's last hits on those contest points, as well as his ability to, you know, sneak into the backline, do some damage, then get out. There's a lot of terrain he can use with his Shade. Feliz has the ability to answer with that Maiev, very strong against Mephisto. Well, they're actually going to look for the Hanzo for more hard engage, and we'll probably see the exploding arrow here on this map, you have to imagine, rather than...
Yeah, the Q on the 4.
Yeah, rather than the W.
It helps a lot more when you... Not just for the wave clear, for the Shrine, post 16 even better. You get that piercing on that Q. You get double the 4 effect, basically. So it's pretty fast at clearing the defenders.
This also prioritizes Deckard Cain so highly with Tyrande removed, so Meriday's hero pool, you know, thins out a little bit here. Those are his big main ones, obviously, in this meta. And he may be forced to play Malfurion here. With the Anub'arak pick coming through, I think that Kharazim is also a reasonable option. It's tough to pull that out as a ban here. You're probably looking more towards something like the Blaze.
Yeah. I think
the Soul Lane.
Yeah, pointing direction at the solo lane is a better one. But
narrow his hero pool further.
With Hanzo, it's hard to really pinpoint because you do have to work with the map to get the perfect scatter and all that. So if you want to focus target, and that's what Whitemane's known for, but they ban it out.
Now, this is a big test for OJ because he has the ban on the Muradin now. His most played hero, and Garrosh, which is probably his most successful hero, and the hero he had most success with last week, to get them here to this playoffs. So he's now funneled into an awkward position. Anub'arak's already taken on the other side. Diablo was removed by Feliz, so...
Johanna?
Probably going to be, I think.
She likes to go to that ult.
I'm gonna save his pick for last.
And this leaving was basically forced by that Anub'arak pick here.
Yeah.
Which they would love to have because all the beetles, the defenders, they would block all the shots of missiles, the orb.
This is such a bad map for Li Ming.
It's not the best map for sure. There's so many obstacles in the middle which could block all the skills.
She's very strong against most slow pushing objectives, but not against the Immortal push, or, you know, the Punisher push, because it will actually just aggro her, so it's tough for her to stand in there and get free siege damage done. The Orc ends up being a great pick for the map for solo lane, and he pairs really well with Alexstrasza. Will be the final pick here for Meriday, so he's stepping out of his comfort zone big time.
Yeah, but Alexstrasza is great on the map. That's where first she started to appear on this map in Infernal Shrines. Leoric, so there's a lot more zoning control. And ETC, without the Irel.
And without Tyrande, it's a very weak pick, I think, given what's on the other side. ETC can work well with the Leoric pick because you can, obviously, if you take Crowd Surf, go through the walls there, and you can also then set up mosh pits defensively around those points. But it's just a pick because he got so choked out on his hero pool. Like, that picking his tank pick for last means that, again, he's at risk of being the weak link of this squad. And if he can excel on this ETC, if he can make this ETC look viable here, then I don't think we have to worry about him for the rest of the series. But if he can't do that, then already BlossoM is doing exactly what they need to be in draft and just isolating his hero pool.
Hero pool problem, yes. And if it was Tist, it would have been Johanna very, very likely against Maiev when she just spirits in to get that tether. Tist will have the perfect blind, so the tether does not connect when he wants to. And there's a wave clear factor too.
Yeah.
And ETC is takes some damage. He's not as tanky as the other ones, so certainly not the best blunt. He was choked out.
Not to mention that Johanna has the ability to just walk out of Maiev tethers. Maiev works so well with Mephisto too, with that burst damage, with the spell damage increase. So very much a scary setup here that BlossoM has, and they have the perfect control of the shrine because they didn't take Johanna. They have Alexstrasza and Leoric. Like, how can you compete with that? With Li Ming, Hanzo on the other side. Very, very difficult for Feliz to control this map, but in a straight team fight over another objective, they've got the advantage, but on the shrine itself, it's not going to be easy.
Yeah, it is the playoffs. Every single game matters. So look at where Modern is just trying to set up the angle. And Hanaton's got to keep that vision control within the bench and ETC as well. But BlossoM there rotating as 4. So it's going to be really hard to actually catch him.
On interesting level 1 talent here for Mephisto, we normally see the spell power, but actually it's going for the quest talent.
Yeah, the Q build has been a thing for Korea, especially within the last week or so. And quest is completely pretty late into the game. It's pretty tough to hit that all the time, but it's a very good one.
It's a very safe playstyle because you're more relying on this slow poke damage because it's a skill shot that has a wind up, as you guys have just seen. And it's a lot safer than trying to commit into a fight where you may then be stunned, especially against Deckard Cain and ETC, where putting yourself out there is quite a liability.
Yep,
Even though you'll shade back no matter what, you could, in that brief moment, be killed.
Yeah. It's also, because they have Anubarak, Mephisto doesn't have the cocoon threat of just staying in that position when he's shade, because even if he's stunned, he will always go back, which is, I think, one of the strengths Mephisto has himself.
Well, OJ considers the invade. He's
testing, but Hanzo was just shown in the mid lane. So BlossoM knew that they had a lot more time.
He also was sent up by that Impale, so even if he had planned on power sliding in, he would have been interrupted. Nice position there to prevent that coming out from BlossoM, and Honkono in particular. Honkono back at home on the tank roll. You know, I guess we've seen him do it all now, but just feels right to see Honkono when he's playing tank.
Yeah, even Lucio last week was not the best game.
Well, yeah, I like to forget about that one.
And at least they have a lot of utilities, escapes, teleport from Li Ming, power slide from ETC, but when they are caught by that tether before that happens, if they used it while they're trying to escape, then they don't have an escape. So it's actually a bigger threat. And BlossoM actually pushed into these kind of picks with that Anubarak pick. Very smart drafting.
Uh-oh. OJ is caught here, though. They call him out for his positioning there. Nice defensive setup, though, by Liu to get that root off, and they will prevent the invade. But they lose their camp in the process, so neither camp's taken here for this middle shrine. And it is going to be that explosive hero from Hanzo. This is going to be where Feliz struggles most, is on these shrine fights. When Alexstrasza has Dragon Queen available, she's going to use it right away. Big root coming through here. Does not connect with Hanaton, actually. That could have been massive. He would have been isolated with no bunker. OJ gets caught by the tether. And BlossoM do exactly what they need to do. They gain control of this shrine. And even though Dragon Queen was used early, they have a massive advantage now in terms of positioning.
Right after the Dragon Queen, Feliz needs to move in, but focusing onto OJ. He does have the power slide, so he's going to make it out safely, but Gondar shades in for extra damage.
Yep, does of course get the teleport back out here. Meride falling dangerously low, does not have Dragon Queen to save him. Nice dodge though. The orb connects, however, and Aimer's going to commit in over the wall. Massive power slide here, and BlossoM is in trouble. Arrow damage coming out from that scatter arrow from Aimer nearly takes Honkono's head off, and just barely will see Wiz teleport through with the Wraith Walk. But Feliz will take control of the shrine. Meride was the focused target, and once he couldn't heal, and he was low on health to basically kill anybody, they couldn't fight.
And they re-engage, because Wiz, he can kind of sacrifice himself. Early game will come back soon. because they had the numbers to start off 26-22. Feliz is winning, trying to choke them out. Alex Raza just coming back.
They have so much sustainability here, but it's not going to be enough. Everyone's too low. Aimer, he has to just throw himself away here. I'm surprised that Hanatan's looking for a re-engage. He's got no mana. Dudu is Li Ming, so if he gets a single reset, then everything changes. But Gondar knew that he had the most health here. He blocks those shots. And at the end of the day, BlossoM, despite losing the fight, will kind of win the war here over the Shrine. Having that early lead is what allowed them to do this. Without it, it would have been a punisher for Feliz, absolutely.
It seems like Feliz does not really like to deal against the Mephisto. When Shade comes in, you do have to continue to attack. You know the Mephisto is going back no matter what. But they were hesitant to actually do damage. OJ is caught once again with the tether. Looks like he will get away. So engage onto Hanatan. They're trying to play this, but the fort is gone.
The threat of the Mephisto Shade is so frustrating when you pair it with the Punisher stuns that can come across. So Feliz just has to respect that, and they end up losing this fort. I think Feliz played this well, though. And already we've seen OJ have some incredible moments on the ETC. 2 big power slides, the one that had 3-man there that really, if they had gotten any other kills in that moment, no one can tap the well and then they cannot re-engage. So that was really close. I mean, that was actually almost the moment that won Feliz that first Shrine. So good play for OJ so far. I mean, I feel like I've been impressed.
Yep, but post 10, it will be super tough unless he has, so he's got to be the one making big plays, big mosh pits. I don't think this is a map where you take stage dive, because post Entomb, where he does not have the crowd surfer, he's going to be trapped in there as well. And there's that Maya, we talked about it. And might just be a disc, just hitting out Deckard, make sure there's no heal, or
can also just
place
hit
for the bunker.
I mean, yeah, it depends on the situation. If you put ETC in the cocoon, then he can't stun anybody, he can't set up for a mosh pit. So I think it just depends on who's the best target, who's in range at the moment, as to how that's going to go. Feliz has kept the experience pretty even, and you know, with the level deficit right now, there's not actually going to be a huge window for BlossoM to take a 10 advantage, because by the time Punisher really starts gearing up, the Shrine really starts activating, Feliz will have that 10 as well.
Yeah, usually with Blaze, especially from Korea, we would have new habits at 1 against the Nubarak to have that unstoppable when the cocoon comes in, because you do want to have that bunker and just remove that cocoon away from you when you're unstoppable. It's hard, but you can do it just at the right time. But he actually takes Adrenaline, which is quite rare to see.
Yeah, it's almost never seen, really.
It was seen at the beginning of the Blaze days only.
Okay, well, here's what they're going to try to do with 10. They're actually invading and now trying to dive this fort. There's no 10 up for Feliz yet. They do use that disc on OJ, but they don't get what they were looking for. Sure, they get the invade, but they don't actually get any kills. They want to get a kill here and get this fort right before the Shrine is activated, but Feliz takes a defensive posture. They get their 10s up here. They're holding them for the moment, but we know it's going to be Disintegrate to get rid of the cocoon. We know it's going to be Mosh Pit for the potential team fights, and the global is not really a thing that you're thinking about right now, but they're holding until the last second.
And ETC Deckard is not a bad one, because Deckard can set it up first, and then when they're sleeping, they can, well, ETC could not just power slide, he could just walk in and connect with the mosh pit onto his perfect target that he wants to.
And he does lock it in now, and we see the Disintegrate come out. Wave of Force is very powerful, and I think, I talked about this all last week. I don't feel like you always have to pick Disintegrate against Cocoon, but in this case, it's absolutely the right choice. There's just not that much utility for Wave of Force in this team setup.
Yeah, because Mephisto is really strong in the meta right now, and Cocoon is like the counter tool against the Shade. That's why Nubarak's tier kind of went up a little bit more, but let's take a look. They're picking up some numbers, not too much crucial damage at the moment.
Yep, Merryday, when is he going to pop the Dragon Queen? That is the big question here. That's going to be the defining moment of this fight. They're staying ahead now, which means he can almost guarantee the finish. If he holds it till the last second, he is going to use it here. Make sure he does not get interrupted on the left side. Now coming in for the re-engage, Hanatan steps over the boundary here, but Feliz is stealing away a lot of these defenders. The Dragon Queen is actually accomplishing very little, to be honest, in this fight, and Feliz is now set up to re-engage once Gondar shades back in.
There's the
Here's
arrow.
the arrow. Okay, this could be big. Here's the Mosh setup, and it's a double. Interrupted immediately. He's disked.
And Cocoon, so they used everything onto that ETC. OJ gets out safely. They're still about winning. Very close in numbers. Okay. Cleansing Flame picking up a few more. Seems like BlossoM will take it at the end. So pouring everything out in that choke point without that mosh pit happening was a real winning condition. But that was a scary moment for BlossoM. They literally choked and sent everything into ETC.
Yeah, ETC, man. They put all the focus on him, but he was the big threat.
Yes.
And that was a really good reaction. But what a setup, you know. You mentioned the stay a while, listen, but the arrow could be a great activator as well. OJ with a big failed mosh here.
He tried to punish the Punisher, but he's not dancing.
Nope.
He's a madman.
Okay, well, that stay a while, listen also did not hit the mark. I think trying to predict Gondar's shade in, but it wouldn't matter even if he was slept.
I think he was trying, they were trying to just delay a little bit because they had a lot of just leftovers from that team fight. And they're not going to have another team fight for some time at least, so they just want to throw those away.
Well, that's going to be the end of this Punisher now here on the keep wall, but Wiz is split pushing top, winning that matchup hard against Blaze. So, not having a good time up there, and BlossoM has full control over this game now. The mosh pit usage there was, it could not have been more poor. Let's be real about it, but I think he panicked because he wanted to power slide back in while catching them, and if they dove on him, the mosh that he did use might have connected, but like that, let's also be realistic in saying that that probably wasn't going to happen. BlossoM was not going to walk into his hands like that.
Oh, the late power slide?
Yeah, well, the power slide into the mosh, which, you know, as you said, doesn't make the Punisher dance.
Oh, yes.
I mean, I could see the idea about what he thought might have happened, but I think it was pretty unrealistic. Then we saw the stay a while and listen, which was, as you pointed out already, to delay.
Yeah, it's already back, so it's not on the longest cooldown as big as a mosh pit.
But we had one mosh pit setup that was incredible, right?
Yeah.
It was interrupted by the disc. You didn't even really get to start it because the disc came in so fast. But very hit or miss, again, OJ, on this ETC. I think has really the potential to change this game a lot. But the mosh pits have to be more like the first one and not like the second one.
And mosh pit used to be the strongest one. Now it has so many interrupts. Like, we need unstoppable on that thing and reduce the dance down to like 1.5 seconds or something. Oh, Diablo's got that unstoppable, right?
Yeah. Alright, Cocoon already broken here instantly by Dudu. Disintegrates on cooldown, but Wiz is looking for an Entomb setup here.
He has a mosh pit, so that's why he's staying in there.
Yes. Just came back off cooldown. He's just going to stand on this, man, but eventually he has to leave. Gondar rotates in. Aimer's very low. Here's that the Entomb.
Might have to drunk the bunker. It doesn't even need to. They're looking for the arrow engage as well.
Yes, the arrow angle here is good, actually.
Yeah, but Leo was actually coming around, so it was not the best choice to engage at the moment. Smart choices. They wanted to have an open fight before BlossoM hit 16. They were getting close to that mark. They were invading onto Feliz side, so Feliz had a good chance. It could have been a mistake from BlossoM. Good call by backing up of both teams.
Yeah, and you know they had to deal with the Shaman camp that was pushing top. If they tried to chase there, which you know the arrow would have given them that opportunity, then the cost would have been losing their keep wall. So Feliz minimizes, I think, possible risk here. But at the same time, now they're up against BlossoM, has 16 advantage. Shrine's up in 30. Perhaps taking the risk might have been the better choice, but it's just too high of a risk at this point. Going to see Leoric shade back. That's going to be a race to the Shrine because positional advantages are everything, especially when Alex Strasza is on the table.
Yeah, I like the fact Feliz is moving not everyone in together in the potion, but OJ is always looking towards the vision control along with Hanaton just as a safety tool to have that bunker as a side tool, but soaking up some EXP because they do not have 16. And let's see if they want to contest. All the forts are up there. So contesting right now isn't the best thing for Feliz.
Yeah, it looks like they're just going to split push bottom. But the problem is, as soon as you show 4 in the bot lane like this, then BlossoM just comes to intercept you and you can't even get a fort. They leave Leoric solo to do the Shrine and you gain nothing. Quest completes here at 13 minutes for the queue, so it's going to be cooldown reduction now available with maximum damage increase as well. So doing a lot of poke right now is Gondar. Okay, Modern Life's going for the flank here. OJ, I don't know if he gets out of this alive. Avoids the tether pull. I do see the Cleansing Flame come out just to do some additional damage here. Pretty unnecessary, I'd say, for Meriday, but he might have wanted to use it to re-engage. As you can Cleansing Flame into Dragon Queen and then knock them back with a Wing Buffet, but that's a really complicated stuff. Maybe we could say that's what he was trying to do.
As long as they don't lose anyone, delay time on what Feliz wants to do, which is soak up for 16, which they did fine. Still, to defend that keep on the top lane, they need to. Ooh, on the Mephisto, let's take a look here, but no follow-up, big time.
Okay, here's the Dragon Queen now finally pulled out here. Hanaten does have the bunker, so he doesn't really have much fear here, plus the armor at the moment, so he just walks away casually. This Punisher is a frozen Punisher, but it's still going to split push really hard. So there's delaying Feliz right now. The bunker's up so that he can get in right after this completes. He gets immediately knocked out of the bunker, but Mosh is available. And this could be a huge opportunity for OJ. He goes for it. Nope, does not commit to the Mosh. Just the slide.
There was no direct stun. BlossoM, all they have to do is buy time, not even pick up any kills.
That's exactly right. They're just preventing the mounts right now. Nice base melt here by OJ to interrupt that. Goddard comes through, just drops a Q. And everyone's just getting dismounted here by the scatter arrow. I think this keep is savable for Feliz now. And they have that mid push, so BlossoM, they get nothing from this basically. Okay, well, they actually will get this keep, my bad.
Yeah, they get the drag.
I thought it was higher than health.
They also had the camp, Shaman camp as well. I think that's a real power source, not just a Punisher. But I think they could have done this earlier. Feliz not really losing anyone, still hitting 16. They knew that keep was gone anyhow.
I mean, they almost saved it. Imagine a world where that keep doesn't go down. You feel so good as Feliz. I mean, it was savable, I think, if they had not been so chased by BlossoM.
Yeah, but still to the fact, Feliz, they were just before this week. They were 7th place in the standings for this entire year, basically. And then playing this well, not really losing too many members. Only 1 kill for BlossoM. I think they're playing really safe, knowing what to lose, not to what to gain.
Yeah. And
OGGTC actually really good, not choking when there is so much threat from Maiev.
Yeah, so same with Hanaten's like Blaze and NETC both have been like the backbones in the front line of this team. And I mean, Hanaten just has no fear, which is really awesome because it allows Aimer in particular to do so much damage with his Qs and with his auto attacks. So this has been a pretty incredible hold on for Feliz. They've been behind this entire game. It's a 2-kill game, but they've never been able to really secure an objective. They've never really been able to win a big team fight. Okay, this is a nice trap on Wiz. He is so dead. There was no way out with Disintegrate there. And that was just greed. I mean, Leoric was playing as if he was a main tank and not just a bruiser. And teleports way too late. He got stunned.
Yeah, good news for Feliz. No tune for next maybe 30 seconds plus on that. He'll get some reduced time because of his strays, of course. But right before 20, when that big silence comes in, Feliz gets another chance to breathe. But they're still very, very far away. Need to get some forts. Taking the tower, all the turrets down before the fort won't really be the best thing.
Yep, Wiz gets that 1W off, so he's going to come up just a few seconds before. The thing is, Feliz gets a small advantage from this, and there's the feeling of comfort while Wiz is dead. But at the end of the day, they still get 21st. Like, this doesn't do too much. Here's the respawn. He's looking for the engage. OJ is caught with all the stuns, but they're used now, so he can actually go in for a Mosh if he ever gets stunned, not interrupted.
Oh, the arrow is pretty big. All silenced, though. Hanaten does not get to go.
Oh, he does get in the bunker. That's got a pretty long range to enter. And now look who's trapped. This is very, very stressful here as the first kill comes through.
There's a second one onto Tutu, and Aimer is also very low, but 2 kills may just be enough to finish this game off.
Yep. The reset there. This might just be the end of it. Really good engages from Feliz. Very clean play. Hanaten, again, pushing the limits. But there was just so much CC for OJ. His Mosh was interrupted. He was just stunned after stunned after stun. He could never get the power slide off when it mattered most. To try to look for that Mosh, even on, you know, a control point. Looks like this is not going to be enough to end the game unless they can grab another kill. It's just going to be a second keep here for BlossoM. So the hope is still alive for Feliz. I think a core call here would be a mistake. Obviously, even if Wiz were here, like,
I think they wanted to go. Short. They could have gone top and pushed a little further because Feliz, BlossoM had all the time to rotate and go for the core. But the Punisher's at the bottom. They can destroy the keep, bring the Punisher with them. A safer call to end the game.
And they've left alone the mid Impaler camp because it actually makes it impossible for Feliz to soak mid. So they can only get experience in 1.5 lanes because of this push mid. At least this, when they finally kill this fort, because it's been ignored for so long by BlossoM. When they finally kill this fort, they'll get that boost of experience, but beyond that, like, it's cost them more than it's gained them. BlossoM was very intelligent to just leave that alone. And now they can look to end the game. It's going to have to be an incredible Mosh, an incredible arrow, and a team wipe. And even that might not be enough to save them, but getting vision first to set up for the arrow. The root dodged by Modern Life. And they're just going to start hitting this core. The Punisher has been dragged away. Now they're going to look for the engage onto Honkono. He gets away safely. They're looking for OJ. If he can't Mosh, they know they win this fight. He's down. The disc is preventing the bunker from being used as well. Then this should be the team fight to win it here for BlossoM. It's a triple, and now they can just turn the focus on the core. Hanatan's best efforts to stun with the charge in. It's going to buy them time, but that's it. Going to get the second.
Maybe a kill to Aimer. Just not enough, and Cleansing Flame just finishing off. And Meride will pick up that kill. That's a team wipe and the first game. Going for